Andy, first of all, we just want to mention the under-18s and in the Youth Cup from last night as well, because obviously they put on a really good show. They were very unfortunate not to win. I know you were there as well, so just a few words for them and what they did last night.
Big words of encouragement for the whole staff, for the whole group of players. I've seen last night's game and I saw the previous round against Hull, and I thought their two performances was a real good reflection on them as a group. As of staff and players, you could see what they were trying to do. The performance replicated and reflected their training plan, and the academy has made massive strides. And they were really, really unfortunate last night against a Premier League club who obviously can attract really good players, really good individuals. But I thought personally we were a better team, and the boys deserved more than a narrow 1-0 defeat, but they can take great heart from that. The whole club can. That say we are progressing, as is every department of the football club. So it's up to them to get over that disappointment, which I'm sure they'll be feeling this morning, and that hurt of sometimes this game kicks you right where it hurts. But the people who go on, and I said this to them last night, the people who go on and have careers, they accept they've lost the game, and they move on and they continue to grow, and that's what they have to do.
As a member of the first team setup, do you kind of watch that with one eye on it, thinking, can some of these players make that next step and step up to the first team?
100%. That's what they're here for. That's what they have to try and do. And there's also been a pathway, or a better pathway created now over the last 18 months, 2 years for the academy players, if good enough, to come and play in the first team and train with the first team and play in the first team, as which I think 4 of them have made the debut this season. James Planter's performances in the 2 games I've seen are at an incredibly high level. He's a fantastic young man. Excuse me. Really good player who's got really good values, and he's getting better. And I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes more a part of the first team going forward. But he now has to maintain that. It's all right doing it for a couple of games or a couple of sessions. That the longevity in getting a career becomes by doing it day after day after day.
Let's look at the first team then. You've had a bit of an extended break through one reason or another. How important has that time been in maybe to get a few knocks sorted out and to, if you like, for a reset more than anything, a particularly important time of the year?
Yeah, I think it's something that we looked at. We obviously had such a short summer break with going to the playoff final end of May and returning early July with a small group of players. So we looked at when a gap in the calendar would appear, just to give everyone a refresh really, and to go away and reflect on what we've done in the first half of the season as players and as staff, and come back and think we've got to this stage, 24 games played, 10th in the league. We've done really well over the 24 months previously, but football is all about the future, and it's how we continue to progress, and that's been the message this week to the players. We had a 40-minute meeting yesterday with the players about, we've done well, take the pat on the back, but you can become championship players. You can get a double promotion. It's within touching distance, so don't let the opportunity go, and we need to get better in these areas of the pitch.
It was never about, I suppose, from what you just said there, it was never about getting promoted and then just staying here. The next port of call is to move on and go that next step. How difficult is that to do, though, once you know the standard of the league and what it's about?
It's incredibly difficult when Ipswich have probably got 8 number 9s, on the top of the league, and the top boys have recruited early and they've strengthened as soon as they possibly can. And the gap from League 2 to top end League 1 is really big. But the carrot, the reward for our individual players and for us as a football club is that has to be our aim, to go and try and play championship football. Some of the players will do, some won't. The club might get there, the club might not get there, but if we haven't got the ambition, the drive, the consistency to try to get there, what's the point of being here?
Do you see a kind of, I don't know, when you see some of the players, do you see flashes of that quality that gives you the idea that they can go on to that next level?
Of course, otherwise they wouldn't still be here, but they have to prove that they can play consistently at a level to make this club compete at the top end of League One, and we are in the top half, but to get into the top 6 in the next 22 games is a big ask. But why can't it be done? Why can't we do it? there's nothing stopping us. We can only stop ourselves by convincing ourselves we can't do it. So we have to improve individually and collectively. We have to get better on the training pitch. Our performances have to get better. And if we do all those things, we're giving ourselves the best chance. But if we don't think we can do it, we'll never do it.
And I know it won't fall down just to you, but we are in the transfer window at the moment. Connor's gone already, but what about any incomings? Can you, in your position, give us any update as to where you are up to with trying to bring players in?
I think it's important that I speak about Connor and the impact he had on us in the short period he was actually with us. I think he played at an incredible level for us last season. Played a major part in the development of our game model, so to speak. He leaves with nothing but the best wishes of everyone at the football club. He's made a decision for family reasons. The club have made a decision. It's not my job to recruit players, it's my job to make the players that we've got better, and whoever comes through the door, that's what I'll be trying to do.
I suppose in this time of year, though, as you've said there, Ipswich are going out and getting players, Portsmouth, whoever. In the pond that you're now fishing in, is that so much of not a learning curve, but is it so much more harder than last year when obviously you're competing with clubs that have got so much more financial muscle?
We can't compete with Ipswich, Plymouth, Derby, Portsmouth, Charlton, Oxford, Barnsley, Bolton. I've probably missed one or two out financially. It's impossible for us to compete, but what we can offer is different things. And if the right player wants to come to us and he can see how the club has progressed, how the players are progressing individually, how our game model is changing, how we're trying to develop our style, they will come. If they don't think it's the right place for them, they won't, and they'll go somewhere else, and that's entirely down to the player.
Peterborough come here on Monday night, and a side that is again doing well, and you consider one of the bigger teams, being as they've come down from the Championship, but their away record isn't that great. So when you approach a game like that, do you kind of look at the psychology of what might make them a little bit weaker away from home and try and play on that?
I didn't mention Peter in terms of the spenders, did I? They battered us away from home. Deservedly beat us 3-0. Probably should have been from their perspective more. Really good side, really good individuals within their group. Have yo-yoed League One Championship for a number of years. They've changed the manager for whatever reasons they decided to do. Obviously Darren goes back in, has had success at Peterborough before. It makes our planning a little bit more difficult in terms of what they will possibly do, but we have to prepare that for the best Peterborough team who come here and are trying to reignite their season, so to speak. They were obviously spoke about pre-season to get immediate promotion back to the Championship. They may be slightly disappointed with where they currently are in the league, but they've got really, really good players, and we will have to be right top of our game to, one, compete, and two, try and win.